Valencia County, New Mexico, 30 miles south of Albuquerque. The vote in this valley has correctly predicted the U.S. president for the last 17 elections. That's nearly 70 years. As Valencia County goes, so goes the whole United States. Vast and sparsely populated, the Spanish pressed into this area during the 16th century looking for a city of gold. They did not find what they set out for. Before then, Native Americans lived here for millennia. Today, those cultures mix against a backdrop of financial uncertainty, religious devotion, single-issue voting, and tough-to-predict politics. With little allegiance to party, every election here is a land grab. Just off Interstate 25, state-managed wetlands host waterfowl and hunters alike.
Hey, there they go already.
They are a frequent stop for this man,
Sun's about to come up.
Alonzo Baldonado, a 5-term Republican state House rep for Valencia County.
A lot of times they'll circle. They spot your decoys, and when they decide they're going to come in for a landing, they'll kind of glide in. And that's when the opportune time is to try and take a shot.
Now listen, I'm very experienced at the Nintendo game.
Okay.
And this is very similar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. These are ducks. See the flutter of the wings?
It's like 11 of them, yeah.
See, they're circling. They may have spotted us here. Oh, here we go. He's gone. That's a female mallard. You know, one of the most eye-opening things I remember in running early on.
Yeah, sure.
We had one of our races that was really close, not mine, but a friend of mine. And we sat through and listened to all the provisional ballots get counted. Mm-hmm. So it would be Barack Obama, then it would jump over to the Republican, then it jump. And I'm thinking, this is one ballot. And you just had someone cross back and forth 6 times.
Boom.
They missed them both.
There you go. I see them both flying around still.
Despite its proximity to liberal Albuquerque, Valencia County is a political island. While Republicans represent the county in the state legislature, it's Democrats that represent the county in Congress.
You get a lot of people, they walk into the ballot booth and they vote both for you as well as for a Democrat to represent them in Congress. Why is that the case?
In the times that I've run for office, you know, when you take the time to talk to these folks, they'll buy into what you're trying to do for them.
You gotta show up, don't you?
They want to see you in the grocery store. They want to know you're in their community and you're part of it.
In New Mexico's 2016 general election, Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump.
I want us to have a vision that is hopeful.
However, neither candidate won the state's majority. New Mexico had a former governor on the ballot, you may remember, Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson.
I'm the highest
He took nearly 10% of the statewide vote.
elected official in the United States to call for legalizing marijuana.
In Valencia County, Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton with an easy 9 points. Before Trump, Barack Obama won Valencia County twice. Before Obama, W. Bush won twice. Before him, it was Clinton twice. Then Bush Sr., then Ronald Reagan, and all the way back through presidential history to Dwight Eisenhower's 1952 victory over Adlai Stevenson.
Throughout the rest of American history, there will be no shortage of prognosticating about what went wrong for former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. What's your best sense on that head-to-head matchup between those two really unique candidates a few years ago?
I know in my heart of hearts that the people of Valencia County voted for Donald Trump because they probably looked at the idea that the Clintons had already had their day in the spotlight and were sort of lingering around in American politics and tend to do and are still doing it today.
How did he endear himself to the people of Valencia County, New Mexico?
We all know what President Trump does when he gets the microphone. A lot of times he gets off script and he just tells it like it is. And another piece that I've always thought that makes Donald Trump a good candidate for New Mexico is because almost every time you see a photo or an event or something that the president's at, somebody in the family is nearby him. That subliminally almost sends a message to the New Mexican that says he's a family guy, keeps his family close by.
someone like you whose family roots are here, this is not a flyover.
There's a lot going on here. A lot of history, a lot of roots, a lot of people that will be born here and die here.
This is not uncommon for somebody to walk into my convenience store, put 65 cents on the counter and say, I need 65 cents of gas to get to her job.
Paycheck to paycheck,
It's
day to
a good
day.
thing that people that have lived in this area, our diet is pretty simple. Rice, beans, and chili.
Despite a brighter economic past, Valencia County today is a tale of Dickensian contrast. Near Albuquerque, the once tiny village of Los Lunas now looks like any well-off American suburb. It even has its own economy. Facebook is building a $1 billion data center here. Another giant, Walmart, operates a massive distribution center. One exit south of Los Lunas is Valencia County's lonelier city, Belen. A whole lot of Valencia County is desolate. Dirt roads string together undeveloped subdivisions. Transmission lines bring power from a couple solar farms. Throughout the inhabited countryside, dairy farming dominates. And in Belen, the largest source of jobs is on the tracks. Eastbound freight trains departing Long Beach, California refuel right here on their way to Chicago. Other business has been drying up in town since the recession. For sale signs and abandoned buildings are all too common.
We have just seen a real descent in terms of the economy in this community. If you drive through most small communities in New Mexico, you'll see that there are more boarded up buildings or closed down businesses than there are flourishing businesses.
Paul Baca is an entrepreneur and Democratic candidate for the New Mexico Senate. His ancestors pushed into this part of New Mexico 4 centuries ago. They worked land for 300 years, and when faced with changing times, the Bacas went into business.
My grandfather did very well, but my father did better than my grandfather did. My wife and I have not done better than my father did. I work another job. I do all the business side of this job just to be able to provide for our children.
What are you seeing a lot of parents kind of encourage their children to do?
I think people are afraid to tell their kids to stay here. They really are. Without the opportunities, they encourage them to go on.
Valencia County voted twice for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. And then 2016, the county pivoted and they backed Republican President Donald Trump. Why do you think that's the case?
I think that we've become one-issue voters.
Campaign yard signs and bumper stickers are pretty rare in Valencia County. What is common is single-issue support, and nothing booms quite like anti-abortion messaging. You have a lot of people who are driving in their cars every day here into your business. What sorts of bumper stickers do you see on the backs of the cars?
Well, in this community, predominantly is the whole pro-life issue. They put that message out there.
There's a lot of people out there, you think, who voted for Donald Trump a few years ago who are still sitting there in the run-up to the 2020 election and saying, hey, I'm still gonna support this guy.
My 18-year-old son, he's a senior in high school. He has a government class. They'll have debates about national issues. And it's amazing how whatever information is being fed at the home, how it flows out into the classroom.
Sure.
If he were to poll the kids at the school, it would be Trump.
Does that concern you?
It does. Absolutely.
My dad, his name is Marvin, but they called him Sugar. And he got the nickname Sugar from his older sisters. They would say, "Where's Sugar?" And he'd come out laughing. so it just stuck.
My dad, he was my best friend actually, you know, and when he died, I actually didn't even want to come in here anymore.
Growing up, it was beautiful. Sat here frozen in time. It was 7 days a week. Sunday night mixed league, Monday afternoon senior citizen, Monday night men's league, Tuesday morning ladies league, Tuesday night ladies league, Wednesday afternoon ladies league.
We had a lot of ladies over here.
Thursday night ladies. The ladies, when we closed here, moved their leagues to the Sletta. And when you see them in town, they say, when are you gonna open that bowling alley again? When are you gonna open that bowling alley back up?
Throughout Berlin, it feels like places to congregate are disappearing. Years ago, bars used to line this stretch of downtown. In the recent past, lucrative liquor licenses were sold up-county or out of it completely. Los Lunas bustles with chain restaurants. Among Berlin's standing watering holes is a recently opened tasting room for Jaramillo Vineyards, a local Valencia County wine producer.
I was at a conference. Oh yeah, we're from New Mexico. And people from California were like, man, really? You're from Mexico? Do you have like an international?
Oh, you're kidding.
Seriously.
Today I'm joining Gabriel and Jocelyn Gabaldon for a glass. Both graduate students and Democratic activists, they're a part of the county's younger demographic.
I went to New York City, catching a Knicks game, went to buy a beer, and all international travelers had to show their passport. So I just show them my ID, and they say, sir, you need to show your passport.
So the guy at the garden didn't even know that
Didn't
New
know.
Mexico was here.
Yeah, and then had to go get his manager, who then said, sir, you need to show a passport.
Wow. If they do know where it is, that's, I guess, hurdle number one. But hurdle number two, what do you think the perception is?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the one that's been pervasive for years. I mean, we're all Mexican and we're all lazy and none of us work. and that's not true at all. A lot of us are from Spain, a lot of us are from Mexico, some from Latin America. We're a minority-majority state.
Personal endorsements aside, what is the style, the type of Democrat you think appeals really well to a voter in Valencia County?
Centrist. Pretty sure Biden would probably do a good job. He has the name recognition. People know him. We voted for Obama. He was in that administration.
Valencia County, New Mexico has correctly chosen every single presidential winning candidate since the 1952 election. You're talking Eisenhower versus Adlai Stevenson.
Whatever candidate's able to distinguish themselves at the end is, I guess, where the winds will blow in Valencia County.
It's a great statistic.
Yeah, maybe the primary should be held here.
The Valencia County, New Mexico primary.
New Hampshire's had their run.
Bring it to central New Mexico.
Up north in Los Lunas, investment and construction continue. Berlin's economy is still cleaning the Great Recession off its boots. But there are positive things happening. Downtown is a frequent location for Hollywood studios and independent filmmakers. And Judy Chicago, known worldwide for her progressive female-focused art, lives right here in Berlin. She recently opened a gallery and education center. As for the Gary Johnson conundrum, he governed the state as a member of the Republican Party. So in 2016, it is more likely he took votes away from Donald Trump rather than from Hillary Clinton. Without Gary Johnson on the 2020 ballot, the Trump campaign has a better shot at winning New Mexico. In fact, New Mexico was Donald Trump's second closest loss in 2016. Politically speaking, what matters most about Valencia County, New Mexico is that it is such a bellwether for the presidency. This speck of desert along the Rio Grande has voted correctly for the president the last 17 elections. However tough it is to predict the county's vote in 2020, it's abundantly clear. Whatever pulse moves through this pivot county is the same pulse that Americans feel everywhere.